Hello, figments of my imagination. Brighter Shores is out, and it's great. I have a review coming out soon, but for now I wanted to share some tips for anyone jumping in. Just a handful of things I wish I knew when I started, stuff I've learned along the way, things like that. Be warned, some tips will spoil gameplay and possibly story. Back out now if you don't want that. You have been warned. So without further ado, tip number 1. Getting a skill to level 20 unlocks the knowledge system. The knowledge system progresses with every experience gaining action, and awards points that can be used for XP boosts, money, or to unlock AFK skilling options for any skill level 20 or higher. With that in mind, I highly recommend picking a skill and rushing it to 20, ignoring everything else possible. This will allow you to unlock AFK skilling for your chosen skill, along with some decent money for the early game. I recommend fishing, foraging, or guard. Alchemy requires foraging anyways, and is pretty slow to level, while cooking's AFK option is very bad, at least without fishing to complement it. Along the same vein, you might consider creating your 2 other accounts after hitting 20 on your first account, and setting them up to idle at level 20. Going from the tutorial to level 20 in fishing or gathering doesn't take that long. When doing fishing, I was able to go from tutorial to level 20 in an hour and 15 minutes. Then getting the first knowledge point took me another 15 minutes, so an hour and 30 minutes total, and I went from brand new character to idling. Either way, if you get your 2 alternate accounts to level 20, you can set them up to idle while you play on your main account, and when you're finally ready to play on those accounts, they'll have a very high level profession and a lot of money to spend. So it might slow you down now, but it'll probably be for your benefit later. Just be sure to check on your character at least once every 24 hours, as that is the idle limit. Tip number 2. Speaking of the knowledge system, don't underestimate the money option, especially early. Experience is important, but getting money early can allow you to do things like enchant tools sooner, which gets you more experience in the long run. Tip number 3. Each episode uses a different combat skill, making all your old equipment useless in the next episode. That being said, there is a way to jumpstart your new episode grind, and you want to start it as early as possible. Killing anything can drop equipment roughly equivalent to its level. Most of this gear you can equip right away, but some of it needs to be attuned first. This unattuned equipment can be carried into episode 2 and attuned there, allowing you to cut back on the beginning grind quite a bit. The same holds true for future episodes as well. So it might be worth it to linger on lower level enemies until you get some unattuned equipment, or at least a weapon. Tip 4. Sticking with combat, once you unlock ranged weapons, you want to begin almost every encounter with them. Once you use your first attack, you can click to move away from your target, and your character will automatically stop when it's time to attack again. This can help ensure you get your ranged attacks off without taking any damage. Just be sure to spam 1 or 2 to switch to your melee attacks when you're out of ammo. Tip number 5, more of an advanced combat technique here. You can step under enemies by clicking to move onto them. This causes the enemy to step off of you before it attacks again. This can be abused to slow down a fight, allowing you to regen health and cool down on healing potions faster. It can also be used if an enemy attacks faster than you. If done properly, your enemy will attack, you will attack, then you click under them, interrupting their second attack and resetting the timers on both of your attacks. A little complicated, but it can help when killing difficult enemies. Tip number 6. Cooking can be pretty lucrative in the early game, as long as you make the right recipes. As a rule of thumb, any recipe using only ingredients that can only be bought from Kevin sells for a profit. More specifically, before level 20, both versions of bacon sandwich, omelet, and vegetable stew are all profitable. Of those, the upgraded bacon sandwich has the highest profit margin, but since it requires 2 ingredients, you can only make 12 of them per trip to Kevin, so your best bet for pure profit is vegetable stew. You also unlock the cooking bounty board at level 9. This board gives delivery quests that give experience and an increased price for certain dishes. If your only goal is money, however, you're probably better served by ignoring these, as the time spent delivering the dish will cut into your profits. Tip number 7. XP potions can be made pretty early and have some serious benefits when timed properly. Most of the time, the 5% boost isn't worth much, but it works on any source of XP. This includes the XP boost from spending a knowledge point, the XP from quest completion, the XP from bounty boards, and the discovery bonus XP for doing an action for the first time. Also, some actions for skills do not award experience. For example, when cooking a multi-step dish, typically only the last action rewards experience. This means you can do all of the prep, then pop an XP potion and do the final step on a full inventory of pre-prepped recipes. Tip number 8. Use teleport more. Chances are you're not using teleport frequently enough. The cast time is very short, and the teleport spot is only 3 screens away from the banks. This is especially helpful for fishing and foraging, as most of the materials are pretty far out of town. Teleporting back is almost always faster than running back. Tip number 9. Spam sense and click on everything in a new tile to identify it. This is a good habit to get into, and it'll come in handy later when you're trying to track down ingredients. Tip number 10. Actions can be queued, at least a little bit. When you send your character to do something, like fishing, you can click on the next action and confirm it once your character has started doing the initial action. And once your character is done with that initial action, they'll run off to do the next one that you queued. This is really helpful while fishing as it cuts down on dead time just standing around, especially if you're lagging. Keep in mind this doesn't work for everything. For example, if you're foraging and you click another action, you'll just cancel your current action to go do the new one. Tip number 11. Leveling fishing can be done extremely fast by bouncing between the eel spawn and the pufferfish spawn. You can even stop to sell your fish at the merchant when you're full. It might seem obvious, but I see plenty of people wasting time just camping at the eels. And last but not least, tip 12. The profession-based banking system is a little annoying and inconvenient at times, but in episode 2, there's a side quest that gives you a spell to deposit items remotely, greatly increasing your gathering efficiency. The quest is Spider's Nest, and it requires level 32 carpentry and level 20 woodcutting, but it's certainly worth it. I'll link the quest data from the wiki below. And a little bonus tip, get in the habit of using right-click to select an action, which avoids the problem of accidentally left-clicking and missing your target, so you just move instead of getting the drop-down menu to pick your action. And that's it. Review should be out in a day or two. The short version is, the game is good, it feels like RuneScape used to, and that's a really good thing. Do YouTube stuff if you want, or don't, and I'll see you all eventually.